The 94th Academy Awards will be held Sunday, March 27th, 2022 in Hollywood, California. The Academy released all the nominations for this year's awards, and of course, everybody's giving their thoughts on it. But I feel like this edition of the Academy Awards, Oscars, whatever you want to call it, I always flip-flop between the two. They've made me think more this year than in years past. A question that I wanted to pose on this show and to those who are listening. Do we care about the Academy Awards anymore? Obviously, to some extent, we do. You know, I remember watching the Academy Awards growing up and just seeing, the red carpet, everybody wearing, the guys wearing their suits, the women wearing all their dresses, and just kind of falling in love with the elegant presentation of it and thinking, there's usually a couple of nominees or movies that, I would like and that I would support in wanting to win. I didn't really feel that for this year specifically, and I want to bring up Best Picture because a couple of years ago, they did add the number of nominees. They extended the nominees to 10, which I think is great because it gives other movies the chance to be recognized. So the nominees for Best Picture are Nightmare Alley, Don't Look Up, Dune, Drive My Car, Belfast, Licorice Pizza, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story, King Richard, and Coda. I will be completely honest, I have seen one of those movies. I want to see all of them before the Academy Awards air, especially Licorice Pizza, but that hasn't really been available near me until recently. So hopefully I get the chance to check that out before the Academy Awards air. But there's one notable movie missing, and I knew it wasn't going to get nominated. But I felt like it really should. Spider-Man No Way Home should have been nominated for Best Picture. You can make the argument whether or not it should win, but when you look at all these movies, and I don't want to knock any of them because I haven't seen most of them, how do you not put the biggest movie of the last 3 years as a Best Picture nominee? You look at all the money it's made. It's made at least $1.5 billion, and it's still climbing. It's been very highly reviewed. It's such a feel-good movie, and it was so well done. How do you not? Now, Jimmy Kimmel made comments on it. Kevin Smith made comments on it. And I agree with both of them. How do you put a movie like, say, Don't Look Up or Drive My Car? Not knocking those movies at all. I haven't seen either one of them. But did they make the money that Spider-Man did? Did they get the worldwide acclaim that Spider-Man did? And I know I've harped on this for ad nauseum since the beginning of this podcast. You look at Spider-Man and you look at the accomplishment that it made. 3 generations of characters, 2 movie studios, and 1 highly lucrative, popular, fun movie that has broken records during a global pandemic. And I think this is truly one of the reasons why a lot of people don't care about the Oscars anymore. Ratings tanked last year, and I think they're going to be even worse this year. Yeah, these movies have notable actors. Nightmare Alley has Bradley Cooper. Power of the Dog has Benedict Cumberbatch. West Side Story was made by Steven Spielberg. King Richard, Will Smith's most likely going to get the Oscar for Best Actor, which I have no issue with. I think he was great in that movie. But how do you not include Spider-Man? Are you saying that Spider-Man is worse than all 10 of those movies? And you wonder why ratings tank and why no one openly cares about the Oscars anymore, because I feel like it's not an award ceremony for the people anymore. That's why I honestly enjoy watching the People's Choice Awards more, because I feel like I get more out of it, because everyone that I'm rooting for will at least get recognition. And more likely, more often than not, they win. I think the Academy made a very big mistake with this. And I think the door is pretty much closed on big budget pop culture movies getting nominations for Best Picture, because Spider-Man should have been the one to do it. It honestly should have been Spider-Man. And I'll say this because I'm not going to totally knock like we'll say the artsy side of film is the best way I can put it. I could say, the elitists of Hollywood, like Nomadland and others that have won Best Picture. Did you feel good walking out of the theater when you saw a movie like Nomadland? Probably not. You were watching a movie about homeless people being miserable. But you look at Marvel movies, they make generations of people feel good. They make older people who grew up reading the comic books, it makes them feel like a kid again. Those of my generation that read the comics also watched the animated series and the early stages of the Marvel movies in the early 2000s. Makes us feel good. I more often than not, I'm happy when I leave a Marvel movie. I don't know that I could say that about any of these other movies once I watch them. And that to me speaks more volumes than, some type of award nomination. If you want people to care about the Oscars, give them a reason to. Nominate movies like Spider-Man. Not saying you have to give it to them, but you know what? I would be so much more invested in the Oscars if I knew that No Way Home had a chance to win Best Picture. If Willem Dafoe had the opportunity to win Best Supporting Actor. Because I truly think if he were nominated for that, he would win. That being said, that's not the case. So there's really nothing we can do about it. But I would say this. In the event that someone from the Academy hears this, I think it would be really cool, even though Andrew Garfield is up for an award nomination, if he, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland all hosted the Oscars. I think that would be about as good of a nod as you can do given the fact that the movie wasn't nominated for Best Picture. I think it would be great, and I think all three of them would be wonderful at it. I would be more enticed to watch if that were the case, but I just think eventually the Academy's got to look at the ratings, because why broadcast it? I mean, if it's not about the ratings, if they don't matter, why are you broadcasting it? Give people a reason to watch. Give movies like Spider-Man, like Doctor Strange, those that tell truly great stories. And all these other directors like, say, Martin Scorsese or Roland Emmerich, who has made more comments in the news, so clearly he hasn't learned his lesson. But, these directors that say Marvel, Star Wars, like these big budget popcorn movies aren't cinema. Cinema doesn't belong to a certain party. Cinema belongs to everybody. That's why I truly believe that movies and television are the greatest art form out there, because you can tell so many different stories that can affect so many different people in so many different ways. I do think there is a place for artistic cinema, for drama, because of the emotional response that they invoke. But I also think there's a certain place for Marvel, for Star Wars, and I'll even throw in Roland Emmerich's disaster movies that he's been making for the last 25 years. They do have an audience. I don't agree with it, but hey, if I don't like a movie, I don't watch it. I don't say, oh, well, this company should stop making movies because I don't like them. You just don't watch it. There's plenty of other stuff out there for you to watch. So I got a little off topic there, but yeah, I just think if you're the Academy, give us a reason to watch.